Hello, I am Pamela of Pamela June Creative, and I want to take you behind the scenes of how I design one of my templates into Squarespace. So let's hop in. Oh, before we begin, if you hear any cute little snores, it's just Bronson here. So if you hear him in the background, it's this little cute fella. Okay, so here we are. This is my Figma setup, and what I generally do is I plan out the home page and see what other layouts I can do. So as you can see, I've done quite a few here, and I have decided to sit on this design here. So let's get started. So here we are in my Squarespace dashboard. So what I usually do is I will begin with a blank template. Okay, so let me just get rid of that. The very first thing I do is I set up a style guide. So I just clicked on the pages, and I will click on the not linked, and I'll just start off with a blank page. Okay, so style guide. And the beauty of Squarespace is there's a lot of ways that you can actually save time. So when I click on edit, add a section, I have already got things saved. So let me click on the saved, and I'll go to your account, and I've just got some saved sections here. And this is where my little style guide is sitting. So I'm going to add this and other sections. Okay, so we have the style guide now in place. So basically this allows you to come in and you can change all of your fonts, and you will see in real time how they will look, and as well as your paragraphs and your color palette, buttons, form, and accordion items. So let's start with our site styles. So this will be for your entire website, so the global style. And I'm just going to look to the side here where I've got everything else. So I'm going to go into color palette, edit, and we're going to start off with this one, the lightest. Okay, so that's done. I'll bring you down here so you watch the color palette change color. It's like I've only got 4 colors, so that's fine. What I'll do is I'll just copy the darkest ones twice. So it's a very restricted color palette. There we go. So it's done. It's pretty much done half the work when it comes to creating your site. So we will hop back up to the headings. So we'll go to our fonts, and hopefully the one that I have on my draft is in here, otherwise I may have to upload it. So it's not actually there. So what I might just do for now, here it is. I usually try to stick to 1 or 2 fonts, sometimes 3. There you go, your paragraphs have been changed. Now what I will do is, because I do have a fancy font, I'm going to add some custom code to it. Okay, so this is the font that I will be using, You can download it for free, and there is this online tool that I use to convert the font file to be more web friendly, just more web friendly. This is what it's called, and let me just drag and drop into this, and we want it to do that, so convert it. Okay, so we download it. Okay, so let's jump back in to this site, and what we're going to do is go back to headings, and we are going to click on the drop down menu, and you'll see this upload button arrow and we're just going to drag and drop the font. But it does accept all the other font files, but I do like to convert them to be web friendly. They've made it so much easier to put in your own custom fonts now, which is great. So there we have the uploaded heading. And what I'm going to do though is I'm actually going to use some code CSS to have two headings. So let me just get that ready. Okay, so we're going to go down to custom code. Oh, I do love a fresh custom CSS window. So I've already got it over here. Now, you don't need to know how to use CSS, that's fine if you don't know how to code. A lot of my templates do come with done for you code, and you won't need to touch anything. So if you decide to get a template from me, of course. So this will create a secondary heading for me. I should do a reminder that make sure you do have the right license for when using a font on your website. For usually the free ones that you download are for personal use, so that's just something to remember. This is another way to add a custom font, is going into here and adding the file, and then down here in between the oh my goodness, I've had a blank. These little things here. So we just open this back up and we click on this, and it brings the URL for that file. So hopefully this will work now. Silly me, I hadn't changed the name up here to reflect the actual font name, and I had fixed it up down here. It's always the little things. They always have to double check the CSS before doing anything. So now it should work. There we go. How cool is that? So now I have the option of this heading, and if I wanted to, I can create a dual heading. How cool is that? Okay, so that part is done, and let's carry on. So we've got our color palette in place. Oh, let's do our buttons. So back into the site styles. What kind of buttons did I have? Oh, solid ones. So button, and we are. It's been a while since I've built something in Squarespace because I've been off doing admin stuff. Sorry if I appear to be a little bit rusty. So that's the buttons done. We'll quickly save. Always get in the habit of pressing save whenever you can. Now let's see what I've done with the forms in my draft, what I'm looking at. So where's the draft? Forms. Do we want any effects? Maybe we'll do a spinning. Yes, received. Got the fonts right. Do we want to just underline? Go ultra minimal and go underline only. Oops. Here we go, use theme color. I think that's nice. We'll leave it there. Okay, as for accordion, I usually just leave it, but we can have a look. Do I want heading 1 or 2? No, we'll just leave that. Paragraph, we'll leave it in 2 for now. Okay, I think that is pretty much done. Yep, so the style guide is in, and now we go in West. Ah, goodness, I don't have anything scripted. This is just all off the cuff, going as I go along, keeping it real. What I might do first is I'll do the footer, because the footer is usually quite easy to do. Why is this not zooming in? So I'm going to go back to my site style. Spacing. I usually go pretty much all the way. Actually, let me double check. I had to go on my website to have a look how far I take it. So pretty much all the way, and this is at 6. This helps with making things fluid. So when, you know, people are looking on different devices, it's adapts much better to whatever device that they are looking at. Okay, so we were on the footer. I'm going to do like a, hang on, let me just save, because it doesn't look like the spacing was applied. Edit. Yes. So if you want to see the grid, just go Control G. We are just going to do a heading. Oh, no, let's do a heading 4, because we don't want to tell the SEO that it's a heading, primary heading. So let's just do an S. I'm gonna go put that down. Sorry, mumbling to myself. So that's gonna be, this is just gonna be a nice simple logo. So it's pretty tiny. What I'm gonna do now is highlight it, and we're going to scale it. Oh, probably not quite that big. So let's just tone it down, turn it down. Okay, let's just make this in the middle. Okay, so we've got a lovely, let's just, this is a ginormous footer, so we don't need it to be that big. Keep it at medium. No, let's make it small actually. Small one. Make this a smidge smaller actually. See how fiddly it can be a little bit. Okay, so let's just do a simple about. Gonna add some social links. So when you want to edit when you want to add something, just add a block, and I usually just type in. So we're gonna go over here. You can notice that it's empty. That's okay. So I just pop in HTTP. Let's just tidy that up. Save. Now, whenever you do something to your pages, you'll see a little blue notification button here. It's just a gentle reminder to check the mobile view. So always get into a good habit of doing so, because look how gnarly this looks. So we're going to fix the footer in the mobile view. Let's go here, maybe there. The other nitty-gritty pages, I call them. Nitty-gritty, yes, you do have to get the grr in there. Back to desktop view. So I'm going to exit and let's go onto our home page. So we are going to edit the header, and this one has the logo in the middle. Okay, so we're going to click on site title and logo, edit, and we're going to upload the logo. Now you can't see it at the moment because I have it on a dark background, which will be, let's use this one. There we go. Ooh, it's quite tiny, isn't it? About, I think that's a decent size. Press save. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to the main navigation. I'm going to pop the home page down to linked, because you don't really need to always show the home page on your navigation, because your logo will always bring the person back to the home page. So it's nice to have less things for your visitor to think about when they visit your website. So the less you have up here, the better. Just enough so where you need them to go to. That's it. Because I want the header to be adapted actually. This will give the header a full bleed of the hero image. And we're going to, hey, what's going on? Add a section, please. Edit page. Add a section. We're going to make a big full header. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to find a video to put in here instead. So bear with me a second. Okay, so edit section, background, and we're going to replace this. So we're going to upload from our downloads, and we're going to pick this one. This one I found on Pixels. Pixels has some really good videos on there if you're willing to look for hours. So let's just let that upload, and here we go. So we have a nice, really impactful header. Movement is really good when a visitor comes because it creates interest. So we are now going to fill in our placeholder text, put in our placeholder text. So we need our header. So I'm going to use a heading one, and this is going to be center align. I'm going to pop it down here, and it's going to be in italics. I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger, put this in the middle. This is the reason why I love doing a draft before going in and putting the template into Squarespace. It saves me lots of time. But of course, when you're not a designer, you don't have to do that. You can just go in and start doing what you need to do. Let me make this a bit bigger because I love giant fonts, to be honest. So, okay.
Now the spacing, line spacing is quite big, but that can be easily fixed by just going to site settings, site styles, sorry, go to your headings, and I might actually bring this down to 14, and headings, and we're going to bring the line height just a smidgen. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Let me just, I'm just going to leave it for now.
Bring it down to 400. I think that's nice. Bring it up here. Okay, that's looking good so far. I will deal with the spacing later. I quite the perfectionist, so any movements I need to make sure that they are in the right place. Okay, so let's leave that for now. Let's move. Just going to add a blank page. Oh, sorry, section. And I'm going to have this as the dark background, well, aka bright, and I'm going to bring in some pictures. It's the little graphics in Canva, so it does come with a Canva file and a Photoshop file as well for the little customized graphics on the template that I'm currently designing in Squarespace. So I'm just going to upload the images, the stock image that is being used, so which is this one. Just going to drag it across and just basically open, close this. I'm going to put this here. Okay, and we're going to download the picture. Now I do have a pro account for Canva, so it does allow me to have a transparent background. It's pretty, I think it's a bit silly that they've put that behind a paid wall just for a transparent background, but that's just my opinion. So, but there are other tools online available that can remove the background with ease, so you don't have to stick to Canva if you prefer to use other tools. So I'm just going to download that. So back in here. Now what I do first is I make sure that I can design the template using what's already inbuilt in Squarespace before resorting to any code. So the little graphic that I just downloaded, I already made sure that it was like on a little angle, because this is how it is on my little draft. As you can see, the image is a little bit on an angle. So what I did was make the photo on an angle. So just bring this over here. I'm gonna, oops. So I think we'll leave it there. We have a little, okay, add a text. This is the little paper we're going to do now. I'm going to try to do it without the image, but we'll see how it will look. So put this here. That is it. So this is the paper, little vellum paper. Probably said that really wrong. Oops, we are going to just double click. Why is it not giving me the little bucket? Oh, it's not a bucket. I was under the pencil and I just have to add a background. There we go. So we've got a little paper. What I'm gonna do is just move it over here so it's looking like the, I'm gonna bring this down, but oops, make this section bigger instead. Maybe bring it in a bit. Let me bring my gaps. About hard light. Ooh, here we go, hard light. Because you want to be able to still see the just having a heart attack because I think I've been mute the entire time. No, it's fine, I'm not on mute. Sorry about that. Okay, so we found that hard light is good because you want to still be able to read the writing. And we've got this little transparency here. And then what I'm going to do is hit the blur button. And we are going to, I think that was, bring down the opacity, the blur amount, sorry. Let's bring it down to here, about here. Or no, let's bring it, I think 4 is good. Okay, so shall we have a look at opacity? Just enough to still be able to see the writing. Okay, and we have a button. So add button. We're going to pop it down here. And it is more about Sophie. Oops. About Sophie. And attach link like before. I'm just going to go / and about because I know it's going to be an about page. So just leave that there. Or should I make this a little bit smaller? Actually, before we continue, I think it's time for a brownie break. Let's check on the little fella. Look at him. Just loving life. Okay, so we're going to move on to our next section. So one thing is really good is when you start, go section by section. That way it just helps you to not get too overwhelmed and try to do all of the things all at once. Actually, I'm going to remove that. I'm going to use, you can still use a classic block section, sorry. Sometimes I prefer using a classic block because it allows me to add better spacing, better layouts. When it comes up, just hover until you see the little blue lines. And looking at my draft, so I need a spacer. I need about 3 spaces. I'm gonna delete this actually. Now you're probably wondering, hey, I can't see the words. That's okay, just highlight it and come back up here to your text color and just click on the lighter colors again. Color palette, sorry. Okay, that's looking good. Let's bring them in a bit. Probably wondering, hang on, but your draft has these little frames. Yes, they do. So let me show you how I would do it. Add a shape block. If it doesn't work, I may have to create some little graphics for it. But let's try it with the shape block first. I already see it, that may not work. Okay, but let's have a look. We don't want a color, so to remove the fill, just go to custom, down here and press the down arrow, and it brings up your hex, your other variables. Oh, my brain. But we'll go down to RGB because we want to bring this slider down all the way to 0. So now you don't have a fill, but we will need a border, so a stroke. And we're going to use a light color, and we don't want it that big, that thick, sorry. Just want it fine, and we want a curve, so just a nice subtle curve. I'm gonna have to create some graphics for it actually, so let's just leave that for now. So we've got our 3 little cards of just saying how you work. Oops, what about the spacing? I love as much spacing as possible. Gives everything room to breathe, and it's nice having a bit of space. You're not overwhelming your visitor on your website with like walls and walls of text and info and just overwhelming them as soon as they come to your site. So you don't want your visitor to think, basically. So that's that section done, and let's move on to the next one. And this one is dark, and there is a pattern, and I've forgotten that there is a pattern, so I don't have the graphic ready for that. So that's something else to put on the to-do list today. So we're going to do a darker shade of this one, and let's bring this down a bit. Let's make it a large.
If you notice why I pull the text box as far as possible is it allows for better responsibility. So like I had explained earlier on, when someone's looking on a different device, it won't make things go all wonky, basically. And we need another text box. Pop down here. And a button.
Terry, oh my goodness. I don't speak a lot on camera, so this is the first for me to be talking this much for quite an extensive, gee, I'm making it sound like I've never spoken before for long periods of time. View all weddings, again we're going to pop in, it's going to go to our portfolio page. So I'm going to hit save. Why is that filled though? I might just leave it. And we're going to place 3 pictures, so 3 photos. So I'm going to use a gallery. I'm going to move it over here. Just make it a bit big. And click on your little pencil to bring up your this window here. Go to design, and I think I'm going to do a carousel. And do I want them to, do I add automatically slides? Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring it down to about 3 seconds. So let's add some photos. What if I can just drag it in? Which ones are they?
I don't have it here, which is a little bit annoying. Work in progress. Okay. Which one do we have first? There it is. Oh, I can just drop it in. That's handy. I love just being able to drag things into stuff. So that's that one. And then this one. This one. Oh, okay, so I allow you to drop in 1 photo at a time. But see if I can do it like this. Nope. Okay. Okay. Just uploading the rest of the images.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to resize that one. So let me take you over to a handy tool called Pix Resize, which is by Squarespace. It's my go-to for when I need to make images smaller. So just type in a file name, and I just go about 1900 is fine, and process, and that will make it a lot smaller, which is really good to get into the habit of making your images at least under 500 megabytes, because that helps with load time on your website. So now that we've done that, let me just open up so it's brought it down to 471 kilobytes, which is what we want. Okay, so it's there. Now let's close this, and we have this lovely little gallery. Let's open up a bit more. Now let's just, now I know there's no gaps there, but I'll come in later and add all the final touches like CSS to make things a little more refined. So that's our little gallery section, and let's just hit save, and then we're going to do a little intro.
This one. And we need a text block. I am adding a little client testimonial example to social proof for your site. And make it in the middle again. Oh, why am I doing several text blocks? Let me just hit return on this one. Okay, this should be in the middle. Why is that not? There we go. So there.
Oh, don't like it in all caps, so I have this other handy tool where it can convert your text into sentence case. There we go, that's better. And we're going to link this one to the service page when it gets built. Okay.
And now it's the next section. Like this.
Now this one needs a divider. And we don't want it that thick, so we're just going to bring it down to 1. There we go. And this whole section needs a divider as well. Okay, done. And
We need some lines. Actually, now I'll do my text first. Copy. Another text block. So I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to go duplicates. And duplicates. Duplicate. Oh dear. duplicate, duplicate. Okay, we need some little lines. Down here. There's our line. Go here. Bring it all the way out there. But these little gaps, so we need to edit section. The gap like this. Yep. Okay, not that way. Gap. Oh, one section. So gap. This one we want. There. And I'm just gonna duplicate. Put this one back up. And let's something out here. I've got a little mini price.
So as you can see, it's looks like this. Okay, so last section is a very important call to action, or CTA, and I think I will leave it there because we unpacked a lot here. But let me know in the comments if you do want to see any more builds like this, and if there was a particular page you'd like me to build out, or if there's any questions that you have that you need help with. Just, yeah, you can comment below, or you can even head over to my Instagram, Pamela June Creative, to chat there if you like. And yeah, because I'm always open to, you know, helping. So that one's a bit small. Oh no, that should be a heading 4.
And just little. And we'll go to a contact page when it gets built. So /again contact. And save.
And there we have it. Our lovely, beautiful homepage has been built. Here we go. So let's take a quick look. And we're going to do a preview up here. And just do a slow scroll. Things have started off very well, and I will build out the rest of the template because we'll be here for a very, very long time. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching all the way through if you have. And yeah, like I said before, let me know if there's anything else you'd like to see. Hopefully you're going to get to know me a bit more, because I am working on just being a bit more visible now, so we'll see. Thanks again. Bye. I'm gonna show you what